Wait, what? Who goes there?
I scan the room for threats with a 17 perception and move back towards the iron door.
Sammy's loud shout echoes into the wild storm. Only the cold wind answers his sudden question. The dark room stays perfectly still. Braylon sweeps his sharp eyes across the broken glass. He easily spots every dark corner. There are no hidden monsters waiting in the shadows. The lantern room is completely empty. The dwarf steps carefully over the shattered time crystal and reaches the heavy door. The thick metal is shut tight. The ocean gale screams through the smashed tower window, chilling you both to the bone. The magical threat is finally dead, but now you are stuck at the top of the lighthouse. Braylon, your hand rests on the cold iron handle. How do you two get out of here?
I try to pull the door open, using my hammer like a fulcrum for extra strength.
So let me get this clear, Mr. Weaver, sir. There is no threat, but an auto-magically closed iron door is our next thing to handle.
The freezing ocean wind bites right through your clothes. The heavy iron door refuses to budge. You are exactly right, Sammy. The world-ending anomaly is completely gone. Now your greatest foe is just plain old architecture and a very stubborn hinge. The freezing gale makes the dark room miserable. Braylon, wedging your thick hammer behind the iron handle is a smart move. The sturdy tool gives you excellent leverage against the rusted frame. You just need to put your back into it to pop the latch open. Roll a DC 9 strength check. Braylon, can you break you both out of the cold?
6.
Passes their turn.
The heavy hammer slips from the rusted handle with a loud, ringing clang. Braylon tumbles backward, landing hard on his armored rear. The thick iron door refuses to budge an inch. The freezing ocean wind howls through the broken glass, biting right through your clothes. Sammy, you stand there shivering, watching your brave dwarven friend lose a wrestling match with a stubborn piece of metal. The cold is getting much worse by the second. Sammy, what is your bright idea to pop this latch or warm up the darkroom?
I nudge Braylon aside. I got this, buddy. And I prepare to cast Shatter, my last second-level spell slot, not on the door but on the weaker wooden door frame.
I try again, first casting guidance on myself. This time I get a 1 on the die plus a 3 for guidance plus my strength stat, so still less than 9. I curse at my hammer.
The heavy hammer slips from the rusted iron again. Braylon stumbles back, cursing loudly at the stubborn dwarven tool. Sammy nudges his frustrated friend aside with a confident grin. Instead of blasting the thick metal, the clever gnome aims his final burst of powerful magic straight at the rotting wood around it. A deafening crack of thunder shakes the dark room. The spell instantly blasts the weak wooden frame into a shower of splinters. Without its hinges, the heavy iron door simply falls outward. It clatters loudly down the dark spiral stairs, echoing into the depths of the lighthouse. The path down is finally wide open. The freezing ocean wind still howls fiercely through the broken glass behind you. What is your next move?
I head down the stairs triumphantly.
I move quickly down the spiral stairs, anxious to get some food and warmth by a fire.
Sammy marches down the dark stairs with a proud strut. The smell of old dust and rotting wood replaces the freezing ocean air. Braylon hurries right behind the gnome. The heavy dwarf stomps down the spiral steps, dreaming of a roaring fire and a hot meal. The howling storm fades into a quiet, eerie silence as you both reach the bottom floor. The ground level is completely dark. A faint, glowing figure suddenly appears by a dusty wooden desk. It is the ghost of Captain Eva Rostova. She points a pale finger at a thick leather journal resting on the table. The spirit does not speak, but her sad eyes plead with you. What do you do?
I ask the captain, are there some big words you need help with?
I pick up the journal and peruse it, my curiosity taking over my usual self.
Captain Eva Rostova slowly turns her glowing head toward the sassy gnome. She gives Sammy a completely flat, unamused stare. The silent spirit does not laugh at the joke. Instead, she jabs a pale finger urgently at the thick book. Braylon flips open the dry leather cover. The old pages reveal a terrifying secret. Centuries ago, a living time storm called the Infundibulum crashed here. The monster wanted to freeze the world in one endless day. The captain's final entry holds a desperate warning. It says only a blast of wild magic can destroy the crystal anchor upstairs. Sammy, your loud thunder spell did exactly that. The glowing ghost finally smiles and begins to fade away. You saved the town of Port Azure. How do you two celebrate?
With snacks and ale, of course.
I suggest to Sammy that this calls for a meaty stew and some ale.
The heavy storm suddenly breaks outside the dusty tower. Warm morning sunlight streams through the broken glass, chasing away the bitter cold. Sammy cheers loudly for snacks and a cold pint. Braylon nods happily, dreaming of a thick, hot meaty stew to warm his frozen bones. The ghostly captain is finally at rest, leaving the dark room peaceful and quiet. You both step out of the stone base and leave the tall glass lighthouse behind. The angry ocean is calm again. The long walk back to Port Azure is easy under the bright blue sky. Your hot breakfast is waiting. End of session. Character status. Sammy. No new items acquired. Braylon. Captain Rostova's old leather journal. Open threads. A well-earned feast waiting at the tavern in Port Azure. The end. Thank you for listening.